So as of right now, Space Station 14, without an EVA suit and only having oxygen, you have about 3 minutes until you enter a critical state. So I figured let's go compare the other popular servers like Goon Station and TG Station, and well, I learned some interesting things. Goon Station's spacing damage is pretty interesting, honestly. Goon doesn't have quite the same crit system as the others, like 14 does or TG does. You can like recover partially from crit. My Goon knowledge is very limited, so I'm sure somebody will know better than what's going on here. But yeah, like you enter a critical damage state at about 55 seconds, which I'm noticing that's a common number, but you keep getting up and recovering for a full minute after. So obviously a lot different. It's not, I mean, I don't like comparing 13 to 14 anyway. Like it's good. Yeah, it's great to take from where 14 comes from. I mean, we're a 13 recreation. We're inspired by it. But I think trying to directly copy 13's numbers are big. What did 13 do? Well, TG did it how it was, and Goon does it differently. So I guess it's really just pick which ones you like more. So TG Station is actually really similar and really close to the way spacing was just a few days ago. You die in about 55 seconds, which I think old spacing was around 50 seconds on Space Station 14. And the only reason it's longer on TG is because TG has obviously a more advanced medical system, so you don't crit at exactly 100 damage. So that's the only reason it's even longer. Otherwise, I think the values were pretty much identical. But anyways, I should give a very quick insight as to how other servers have done spacing or are currently doing spacing. I don't know how they used to do it. I'm not going on a historical hunt for this. So the way temperature works and like the way characters are insulated in this game is kind of random. So this is not like really all that cold. I mean, yeah, it's pretty fucking cold, but in retrospect, there's a lot of times in the game where things just get colder or a lot colder. So the difference is between these two characters is one has winter boots on and one does not have winter boots on. And if I open up the barrier between them, it will get very cold in here, negative 128. So the one with the winter boots has no cold damage at all, where the one without the winter boots is taking a lot of cold damage. And this person is at negative 77 degrees body temperature, where the person with the winter boots, yeah, they're getting colder, but it takes a lot longer. And this is true on the flip side. If it was really hot in here, just even having something like winter boots on would massively decrease the amount of damage you end up taking and how much time you have to respond to a bad atmospheric situation. So now that we know that winter clothes are actually really good protection for bad hazardous environments, or at least provide good enough protection. Honestly, wearing your winter coat as an Atmos tech is very, very powerful for maintaining your current temperature, because overheating and freezing to death can do a ton of damage and can be very unexpected. We don't really want to deal with the slowdown of hard suits, so we can even see something like a winter coat actually does have a good coefficient for protecting against temperature. But even something like a normal fire helmet can help you massively against temperature. It has a even more insane coefficient, so basically wearing just a fire helmet will practically make you immune to temperature changes in reasonable amounts. If it's like 10,000 degrees Celsius, it's not going to matter. So the Atmos fire helmet and the normal fire helmet are actually the same. So honestly, you actually see a lot of Atmos techs looking like this, because this is just really, really strong for dealing with moderate temperatures. You don't have to slow down at all on full speed. Atmos techs actually do have quite a lot of tools to help dealing with spacing. So your RCD is absolutely essential, and it comes with 30 charges, and you always get a backup compressed matter. Cargo can order more of these. You get a hollow fan, which is incredibly useful. You get a gas mask, which the gas mask isn't really anything all that special, but you need to breathe. A lot of stations also will give you steel and stuff, which is really all you need to help fix floors and floors. They give you rods to deal with that as well. And before we even leave or do any form of spacing, we want to maximize our distro. There is no reason really to not just max out all of the pumps. You can max out oxygen, you can max out nitrogen, and 78-822 is becoming a less popular mix, because I mean most species breathe oxygen and there's no like oxygen poisoning. But either way, just to get pressure up, which is what we're talking about, we're just worried about the output pressure, and you just max out your actual pump into distro. So now we have our distro pipes as high as they go without swapping to like volumetrics. And yeah, it's going to look like there's nothing in the pipes because everything is going into the distro net. So you always have to examine the actual distro pipes, and this pressure will keep building and building and building and building a reserve of extra gas for when things get spaced. So the more gas you have reserved before big spacings occur, the more time you get to actually have to like repair these things, and the faster rooms will repressurize. So now that we have our RCD, we have our hollow fan projector. You can even bring things like inflatable barricades for even faster setup, so we might as well grab a stack of them. They're only a 1x2. There is no reason not to carry these on you. And if you want to get more of them, normal NG vendors have them. You can get them in NG vents at the bottom. They come in boxes for your convenience. And inside, you have 2 stacks of barricades, 2 stacks of doors. This is very useful for keeping people out of spaced areas. Firelock electronics can be printed at autolace. Most engineering departments have autolace, and if not, you can always go ask science for them. It's not that expensive. To make a firelock by hand, you just press G, you go to firelock. They all craft the same. They are very cheap. They are only 3 steel, 2 cables in the electronics, and then your tools. Glass firelocks do cost more, but they let you see through them, so it's up to you the level of safety you want. 2 glass is not really asking all that much. However, the RCD can also do this pretty easily. So say like you want this section to be safer, you want more firelocks to save this section, whatever the case may be, it's very simple. You press Z, you go to airlocks, you go to firelocks. The RCD is now set to build firelocks. You can click multiple at one time and skip the construction process, and now we have just made this hallway significantly safer. We have, yeah, it uses 4 charges a piece, but you get extra compressed matter. So, like, say, like, this were to get spaced right now. Yeah, you can't really see into there, but, like, that's not all that big of a deal. We have saved this hallway entirely from getting spaced. And once you see firelocks go up, and you can't, like, even especially here, like, I can't see on the other side. So, you have many options. You could just put down a hollow projector by putting in your hand and left-clicking, and that will put up a hollow fan. Now, if I open this door, it's totally fine. And if I try to open this door, well, it will let me open it, but it will auto-close. I can even keep opening it by hand manually to the point where you actually start suffocating. And the pressure in here is pretty damn low. It's almost lethal, but just don't be dumb and don't open up a firelock that says extreme pressure. I don't really know why you can keep manually prying these open without a crowbar, because now I have made it a problem and now I am taking damage. Be cautious and pay attention to these lights when trying to open doors. Don't accidentally space areas, especially as an Atmos tech. Put barricades, use your hollow fan projector. So now that we see there is a space tile, we can see it completely safely standing in this hollow fan. Atmos cannot pass through this at all. So we can assess the situation. We realize that there's a hole in the floor. Well, all you need is rods and steel or tiles, and you can walk up and fix this in a matter. Like, I fixed that instantly. You place the rod, you place the steel tile, and now to get pressure to equalize back in the rooms, we can just now press E on this door to open it. So now that it's done that, the pressure will equalize, and due to the fact we had our distro maxed out, it's instantly livable and the whole hallway is good to go. We checked the air vent, and there is still a ton of air left in the distro. Yeah, this is a small hole, but we have successfully fixed it without risking anyone's lives. If people open these doors up here, well, Firelock remotes got removed, so you can't manually stop people from going on every side, but what you could do is you could have run across after you, like, as soon as you fix the spacing, or if it's a big problem you can't fix instantly, you could just go up and put inflatable barricades. They deploy pretty much instantly. You could use more hollow fan projectors. They're both pretty unlimited resources. You can just alt-click a barricade to tear it down, and for the hollow fan projector, it's just a battery. So you just go back to NG and recharge it, or you just carry multiple batteries on you. There's pretty much no reason you can't spam these out as much as you want. You can also help make Evac significantly safer by utilizing these tools. Hollow fans at the moment of being placed last exactly 3 minutes. So you should try to delay putting these out as much as possible, because it takes 3 minutes to leave the evac. So I wouldn't put them down the second you get in, but I guess if you have extra batteries, there's really no reason not to. But even if everything were to get spaced on this entire shuttle, if there's a hollow fan placed before the spacing occurred, you can just stand in it and you'll be totally fine. You can breathe, you won't take pressure damage. It's incredibly powerful. And say you want to make even more sections that are possibly safe for people, you can do things like this. You can, well, I'm an idiot and didn't bring my RCD. You can, this is one of the only, this is an evac shuttle that still actually has Firelocks, so this evac shuttle doesn't quite have the issue. But like, what if a bomb goes off here? Well, we can literally use all of our chargers. I mean, the round's ending. Why not be an engineer and make it safer? We could build Firelocks straight through the center of the station. You'd have to get rid of this table, but you get my point. Like here, you could do this if you want to be real lazy. Just like move the lockers out of the way and put some barricades up. So now if this were to get spaced right here, it would cut it off right in the middle. Like there's just so many options that you do have as an Atmos tech, and even a normal engineer can get inflatable barricades and RCDs to make this. Cargo can buy RCDs to help with this. They could buy inflatables. It's really simple to make small areas that are safe from spacing. Now, if a syndicate bomb goes off, well, there's not much you can do. Syndicate bombs, for some reason, can be instantly detonated by the user. So if one person decides they want to kill 30, 40 people, there's nothing stopping them. You can't do anything about it. You just hope that they defuse their own bomb. It's literally a coin toss. So, for example, the longest time from the shuttle dock leaving the station to going to CENTCOM is 3 minutes total. So if I place a hollow fan down now, this will always be safe from space. Oh, here, I'll demonstrate it. I will space every single tile around me. I am now standing in an island. I don't have oxygen on. I'll take my helmet off. I'll take my gas mask off. I'm taking no damage. We are completely safe here. And as long as somebody doesn't shoot you, which is not, it was ever in the equation, we're fine. And since there's Firelocks here, I could actually pry this with my bare hands and just walk through. Like, this one hollow fan may have just saved a dozen plus people. That's all it takes, is using hollow fans, using inflatables, using your RCD to make Firelocks, making safe pockets of air.